funnel design is crucial for your sales funnel and ultimately the success of your business and how much money you make in your sales funnel. So today we're going to go over some super common mistakes that people make with doing funnel design and also how you can fix it so that your funnel will start converting even better than it is now. I'm Kathy Olson of Funnel Gorgeous, and let's dive in. I'm going to show you actual examples. I'm going to give you the principles, show you what it looks like, and explain how to fix it. So let's dive in. This is a real life funnel, but it's been changed to protect the innocent. I've taken out the words and I've blurred out any images or mock-up shots here, but I'm going to go over these things and I'm going to show you what each thing looks like. Funnel design mistake number one is too much space or not enough. This is one of the big things that I go over pretty extensively in FG Society in phase 3, but I talk about space meaning air, giving your eyes a break, and it's kind of like just taking a breath. It's the same thing if you were listening to take a breath, but there can be too much break, it can be too much space between items. And so there's this relationship between items. And so I want to show you an example of not enough space or too much space. And so here you can see all of these little things that they have right here. These separate lines are very, very tightly spaced together. So you can see my eye is not really sure where to go first. I mean, they did a good job of the hierarchy and they kind of got that down, but spacing is the big issue. So you see that there's just a lot of, it's really tight here, it's really tight here, it's really tight here, it's really tight between from here and here and from here and here. So you can see all of these areas are super duper tight together. So really we want to group like items together. So these kind of two lines go together, this goes separately, this is separate, and this is separate. So you would really want it to be instead one line, the grouping, another line, and then another line, and then, closer to maybe the image down here. So you can see the difference between this just all being kind of shoved together up here and having moments, okay, I read this, and then I read this, and then I read this, and then I kind of read these together. And so you're really giving the eye some break and some time. Okay, so funnel design mistake number 2, that the design doesn't fit the story flow. So this is one of those things that will happen when things sort of just are floating around or they don't seem to go together. So for example, here's a really good example of that. So right here, we're explaining what's included, what's inside the package, but there's some divider lines from here and here. I mean, just basically with the colors, right? And so it's almost like what's included, the information is right here, but really we're actually talking about this information here. So it's really disconnected. What it should be is that the what's included should be on like down here. There should be more of a space obviously between, this should be the purple should go down here, but the what's included should be right here, because now here's inside the container, we're going to start talking about what goes inside the package and what's included. And so the way that it's sort of separated out here and it's not together makes it sound like this is what's included. Like actually this line is what's included because they have this relationship together and not actually this. And so you're almost like developing a border here or like a boundary. Everything that's kind of going to be talking about what's included should be in here. They did a great job of having the step 1 here and then having everything in step 1 inside of the box. If they were to have the step 1 out here, then it would have this little bit of a break, it would have like this border and this boundary, and it would be outside the boundary. So you want to make sure that everything that is talking to each other goes with the boundary. Again, even like this, or of course you could do it yourself. This probably would be better inside of here, or, just even across the top like that, but inside of the boundary, so you understand that these have a relationship and a flow. The next funnel design mistake is that design is hard to read or colors are clashing. And so this is really just about aesthetics. So this is about your eyes. And so you can see there are some areas that are slightly harder to read. Anytime you have an italic, that's going to be a little bit hard to read. There's a lot of different fonts going on here, so that makes it hard to read as well. And you can see the colors here are kind of all over the place. There's not really any rhyme or reason. There's lots of different colors everywhere. And so it just seems like they just kind of picked colors. And so you're not really sure kind of what's happening here with the color code. And obviously you see like little mistakes here and there, like this little section here obviously should have been purple all the way down. There's just a little bit of purple here. So it seems like that was done on accident. Of course, there's like this hot pink and then white writing behind it, which does make it hard to read as well. So you just want to make it easy on the eyes. I guess this step is really just saying easy on the eyes. It's really easy to, if you don't understand color too much and you're not exactly sure how it should be put together, the best thing to do is to stick with neutrals neutrals and then maybe add like a pop here and there, or just use colors from nature. A lot of times I'll sample colors exactly like from photographs, and I'll just, pick out the colors and say, okay, these colors obviously go together. They're like, the colors of the sky or something. Like, you would never find these colors in nature, and that's why they're kind of, our eyes are just not used to them. It's almost like these supernatural colors, and that is where our eyes can get super confused. The next funnel design mistake is not highlighting or separating big ideas or little ideas. So basically not taking the hierarchy, so we can't really tell. They did a good job of having, a paragraph here, takeaways here, bullets, and then like a closing here, but there's no difference between any of these things in the paragraphs. I don't know if I should read this paragraph or this paragraph. What they could have done that would have been super easy to do is to actually create different, like an underline here, or maybe this is bold, and this is bold. Maybe this is italic or underlined or something. And then when I go through here and I skim through, I'm going to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 words that are going to give me sort of a shortcut on what is going to be talked about in that paragraph. And that will actually tell me, oh, I need to stop because I really want to know about this thing here. This is a buzzword for me. I really want to understand this. And so that's one of the things that you can do to really separate out these like little details, big ideas, details like, being with bullet points and stuff. They did a good job here. And so you would want to keep that going, have bullet points whenever you have some details. There is an underline here and an italic here. So that gives you an example of like how to actually read this. It gives you a highlight. This could be, separated out. You could have some underlines. You could have a bold here. This could be italicized, and that will even just give this line a little bit easier of an understanding. And the very last funnel design mistake that I'm going to go over today is too much text, not enough demos and visuals. And so you see there are some images here, and I know you can't tell what they are, so I'll have to kind of explain it. But the big thing is, these images are not very indicative. They don't explain very well. They don't do a demo. This area that's kind of blurred right here, this is the same on every single one of these, which isn't really telling me much. And so here in this section, it's great to have a mock-up, but you want it to be like an overall everything that's in the program, right? So it should be all these different little mock-up pieces of everything that's in the program, so I can understand the entirety of what's inside this program. Whereas here, this person had the same exact mock-up, basically everything inside of all these, but that doesn't actually lean to what is in this section. I only want to explain what's in the section. So what it should be is really just like one simple mock-up here. Maybe that's like the notepads, and then there's some images here. This is supposed to be a play button. Like these are videos or something, or it's a screenshot of the person talking on the video. And then maybe here, it's the MP3 files. And then maybe here it's like the spreadsheets that go with it. And so visuals explaining each piece, demoing what each step is, step 1, step 2, step 3, and step 4, instead of just, like the actual one size fits all mock-up, because that doesn't really demonstrate any of the features that I'm talking about, and it doesn't aid in understanding. So you want to make sure that you do that there. The other things they could have done, if they didn't want to do, images, they could have done icons, exactly like kind of what I was doing, sort of drawing and not doing photorealistic, but maybe there's icons of people or something, or like maybe they're talking or whatever it is, right? If it's not mock-ups, it could be icons. And then the images like that they did choose aren't really, again, they're not really adding to the overall understanding. They're not adding to the visuals, right? Trading $1 for a tiny cardboard paper bag or $100, I don't really understand what's happening here. Like, this doesn't seem like an even trade. Like, what's happening? And it doesn't lean into anything that they were saying. It wasn't leaning into any of this, and so I don't know what the image is supposed to represent. So as you can see, you can take a design to new heights by just doing a simple, quick design tweaks. This sales page could go from just, what's going on here, to something really great that will ultimately speak to the buyer. Now that you understand these funnel design mistakes, how many of the funnel design mistakes that I just went over are you currently making? And let me know how you're going to fix it. And also check out our other videos all about funnel design, and we are even coming out with some new funnel design videos in the future. So as always, thank you guys so much, and I will see you on the next video.